Hey everybody, wanted to do a quick video this morning. I had a weird thing yesterday. Just hanging around, doing my regular stuff. Sorry, bad time to spit my dip out. But yeah, just doing my regular stuff. Just had a weird feeling, just negative vibration. And I started thinking, it's like, wow, when we lived in Arkansas, felt the same way. I think it has a lot to do with the rain. Rains almost every day here. It's driving me crazy. Grew up most of my life in West Texas, where it's pretty positive vibe everywhere you go. Out here, it's just the opposite. It's weird. When you go into businesses, and you interact with people, it's just a whole different vibration. And it's not a good vibration. It's definitely a negative charge out here. And this morning I got up and I watched Witsit Gets Its new video he put out, and he talked a lot about vibration and frequency. And if y'all know and have watched our channel much, I dang sure am into frequency and vibration. And he made a really good point about it's all vibration. God is energy. The Holy Spirit is the ether. And he made a good analogy that really lit something up for me when it comes to light. Is that if you can imagine every particle right here in the air that you feel when you move it, every particle has a vibration, has a charge. And light is just connecting those charges instantly. Each particle is right here in the air. It's right there. And when the light comes on, each one of those particles is charged. Makes sense. Pretty cool. And it's instantaneous. It doesn't have to travel. Its medium is present, constantly present, for it to be visualized by our eyes. Thought that was pretty cool. And the only thing he's real set on the Torah. He's real set on the old laws, and don't eat pork, don't eat seafood. I don't know. I still go with when Paul and them went up and talked to the elders and asked, what do the Gentiles need to do? And they decided, well, the 4 things they need to do is don't eat meat from an animal that's been strangled. Don't eat blood. Avoid sexual immorality. And love God. It was pretty simple. And a lot of people overlook it. They completely overlook that, and they're like, yeah, but the law, the law in the Old Testament. Well, Christ came to fulfill the law. And the way I read it is that for us Gentiles, that those things don't pertain. That was a whole different era. That was a whole different medium of getting closer to God. That was different. The new covenant, doesn't hold us to that law. Like Paul and the disciples said, you're asking these people to adhere to a yoke that you and I can't even bear. Why would you throw that on them? They're new to God. Why would you say, all right, if you're new to God, here's what you got to do. We got to circumcise you. The whole deal with Paul was about circumcising the Gentiles. And no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. That's old law. That's the law of Moses, and we're in the New Testament. We're in the New Covenant. So those are some of the only things I kind of go just to the edge of him with. He's real into the Torah and the Sabbath, Shabbat, and he's real into that, and that's great. I mean, I won't knock the guy at all. Everybody has their vibration with God, and he's very intelligent. He's got some good stuff on the math and on the flat Earth. So I don't ever discount these guys. He's a pretty sharp guy. So there's that about vibration. I watched the deal yesterday. These two guys are debating the Trinity. And it's so obvious that people who are indoctrinated to the modern theology they're just like the scientists. They're just like, the globetards. They're just like any of the other people that are programmed. They're so condescending. They're very, very, very diminutive. They really, really put people's thought, ideas and their take on it, really put it down, really, really stomp on it and crap on it. And they don't do it with any real fact or any real conclusive, evidence. The guy says stuff like, the pro-Trinity guy says stuff like, well, the church, over the last several thousand years, they've said this, they've said that, this is what the church has said, and this, and the guy for one God, one spirit is like, excuse me, it was like, we trust the old church. We trusted these people coming up that, they're going to give a sound judgment. They're going to give, you're giving them an awful lot of credit, and it was interesting. And it's always the same way. The pros for the Trinity are very arrogant, very condescending. He basically told the guy, you're too stupid for me to even talk to. I shouldn't even have to speak with you, but I am. I'm here. So I'm going to try to teach you. You probably won't learn it. You're probably going to walk away not understanding any more than you already know. And it's just, I just want to smack those people. And the guy's argument, for one God, one spirit, was just, Bible verses. He pulled out Bible verses, and he just, it was pretty common sense. He's a Southern talking guy, and he talks real plain and real, real precise. And, he didn't throw in any big words. He didn't throw in any of these man perpetuated theologies. He didn't get off in the weeds with science and yada yada. Well, the Trinity guy did. The Trinity guy, he got off into the molecular science and all of that. And it's like, oh man, where are you going with this? Because it makes no sense to the subject. It just doesn't. But they do that, and they feel good about themselves. They feel real good. He even says in his rebuttal to the guy, he goes, wow. He says, you must not even realize how bloodied and beaten you are in this debate, but you seem to not understand how ignorant you sound. I can't listen to you. You're so stupid. And the guy never said a word. He never fired back. He just said his piece. And the other guy, it's like, okay, you just watch this debate, and what do you think? What guy is more in tune with the tenets of the Bible? Which one? Just by the way they talk with each other. Both Christians, both believe in the same God, both read the same book, they both walk the same path, right? Supposedly. But this guy, he comes in with this superiority complex and just right off the bat starts putting out all the mainstream theology, all the modern. Well, he didn't use so much modern. He dabbled in the centuries in the millennial old church stuff. He got into that. And then I thought the same thing, and I know Alan would have thought the same thing too. It's like, okay, so back in the 1600s when this whole, Trinity thing started getting its push, was it biblical to make it against the law to not believe in something that had never existed before? Is that biblical? Because you started something that's never been theologized before. And from that point, you say, hey, who made that decision? This is a handful of people said, from here on, death, burn you at the stake if you don't confess to the Trinity. This doesn't seem very Christian to me. It seems pretty evil to me, because is not one of the basic premises of Christianity is it's a personal relationship between you and God, and prayer and thought and your life and your actions, that you represent the word, that you love your neighbor, that you love God, and you're not supposed to follow man. But these guys, like that dude, he's like, I've got the truth. All the things you're saying are non-truth, which he never rebutted any of the verses that the guy put up. He just told him he was wrong. And it's like, okay, so you're saying that Bible verse does not say that. Is that what you're saying? Because you're imagining, or you're insinuating that this guy, this human, made up this premise that's in this verse. It was disturbing. More and more you're starting to see these people come into these debates with all this seminary teaching and education. You can tell not many of them are lay persons, like a lot of us that are just on a spiritual journey trying to figure it out for ourselves, with help from spiritual people along the way, with good information, good insight. That these people just come at it with this academic angle, and it seems like they never are spiritual. They're just, a spreadsheet on the Bible. They want a spreadsheet. They want a model. They want something that, they can present and go, here it is. And everybody believe it because they're so smart. And I watched another video the other day with Whitsitt, and he made a good point on that one too. The guy makes a lot of good points. That the big deception started a long time ago, and one of the biggest parts of it for the people are those positions of authority. All those historical figures, they told you, well, they did the math and they figured this out, and here's their formula. Well, like he points out, every one of their formulas only works when you start with the premise of a sphere. If you start with the premise of flat earth, most of them don't work. A lot of them will do both. And I think those are guys that later on were going, hey, we're going to have to make some murky waters here. We're going to have to make some doubt zones here that it could be this way or that way, and then we'll make them appeal to the authority of our educations. And when we put it in our books, and when we put it in, say we're putting it into practice with our NASAs or whatever, you know, people bought it because of that authority figure, that person that, wow, they know a heck of a lot more than I do, you know, so I better believe them. You know, what do I do? What do I do? And that's tough. That's part of the Great Deception, I believe. So many things are plausible, but not possible. If that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. But they're deceivers. They're big deceivers. And it was funny on his video he put up. He was at the NBA finals in Milwaukee, and he had some cops roll up on him and threaten to put him in jail, arrest him for standing in the public area and speaking. And the one little clip he showed was a guy's telling him, "You keep doing what you're doing and you're going to find out." And he says, "Oh, is that a threat?" And he says, "No, you just keep doing what you're doing and you'll find out." He's like, "Dude, bro, are you mad because we didn't go to the moon?" And the cop goes, he's just, these guys are so triggered. They're so programmed, especially these cops, man. They are so programmed to just be, you know, robotic. They have no humanity left. And that's the weird thing. When you see a reasonable, logical, compassionate policeman, it goes viral, but or no, it doesn't go viral because they don't want that out there. You see, I've seen a few videos of cops going, you know, "Hey, you know, I pulled you over," and they're like, "No idea." He goes, "Well, you know, you sped through this deal." He's like, "You know, before we go any further, is there any guns, any drugs, anything in the car?" I've seen a few people go, "Yeah, I've got a little bit of marijuana," and they're like, "Well, okay, get out of the car. Tell me where it is." They tell them, they get it out, and they're like, "See, if you're just honest," poured it out on the ground. He says, "You know, I'm going to write you up a citation for the speeding. Not worried about that." You know, let them off. But then there's the cop who got anything in there. No, we got nothing. They find it and they're just like bum rushing them. "All right, you're under arrest. Possession." I saw a deal yesterday on one of those, a cop show. They pull these people over and they had maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 grams, about 4 nuggets about that big. They might have had 10 grams at the most. And they searched the car, and these kids are on spring break in Florida, and this girl's dad gave her a little snub-nosed 38 to carry with her for protection. Well, they go to search the car, and they're like, "Oh, we got a gun. Well, now it's a felony. If you have a gun in possession and there's drugs in your possession, that's a felony. Deep shit now. She's 19 years old. She can't protect herself. It was in her, you know, it wasn't secured in a holster. The bullets were in it. They should have been sequestered. You know, they have to be separate. And da. Well, a lot of good that's going to do that little girl when somebody's trying to rape her and her bullets are in the glove box and her gun's in the trunk. A lot of damn good that's going to do. What's she going to do? Hold on a second, guys. You can commence rape in just a second. Let me get something out of the trunk. Got to get something out of the glove box. That's what they want you to do. That's a lot of states have rules like that. You know, yeah, you can carry a gun, but the bullets have to be in one place secured and the gun has to be in another place secured, and they can't be in the same place secured together. And it's like, God, it's just, what good is it then? What good is it? You know, most times people have to use a weapon in self-defense. It's like that. It happens right now. It's not a build-up going, okay, well, hold on. Let me go get my shit together and I'm going to get it ready when this escalates. You don't have those time. You don't have that time. Never do. It's one of those things, man. They want us. They want us vulnerable. They want us to always turn to them, look to them, you know, to help. Kevin Sorbo, the actor, put up a good tweet this morning. It says response time of 9/11 was like 911 call was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes across the country average. And he says the response for a 1911 Okay, up top, the first one says response for 9/11. It's 10 minutes. And then response of 19/11, 2 seconds. 19/11. And that's pretty smart. That is. Am I going to wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes for the cops to show, or do I have 2 seconds to make my move, to save my own life? They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to do that at all. But the political front, anybody even care anymore? Oh, Joe had a speech yesterday or the day before. Just, God, it's crazy. He stood up there saying, these voter laws they're trying to vote in, they're trying to keep you from voting. These voter laws, what they want to do is they don't want to go with the final count. They want to count themselves, and then they'll give you a final count. And it's like, yeah, I mean, shouldn't that be the way it goes? You count them, and we go, all right, you're done. Take it out. We're going to count them. If they count it honestly, aren't they both going to come up with the same thing? But the Democrats are not interested in that at all. They just want you to let us do it, trust us. And every once in a while, now that's what it's been my whole life. I mean, you just see the scenario over the last 50 years is that they win, we win. They win, we win, we win, they win, we win, they win, we win. And it's just boom, 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 back and forth, back and forth. Oh, hey, we don't have ultimate power. Yeah, Biden's been in government for 44 years. Schumer's been in 38 years. Pelosi's been in 33 years. The greatest, this is what's funny, the best companies in the world do not have CEOs that last 30 plus years. There might be an occasional one here and there, but not the biggest. They swap out CEOs every 10 years. Just do. My wife's been, at 6 hospitals now. And every single one of them, when she got there, was either getting a new CEO or that guy was going to be leaving within a year or two. It was always the same way. When she came here to Beaumont, the reason she had to wait so long was waiting for the new CEO to come in, get hired, and then she would get in the line. And so when you look at these people that are elected officials, are you kidding me? Even the best corporations get the old wood out now and then and bring in some fresh meat. Non-politics, man. Old stinky rotten meat is what they do. That's what they do. But Alan is on the road. I talked to him last night. I don't know if he made it to Colorado to NOAA or not, but I did talk to him. He was humming on down the road. Hope he's all safe and well. I didn't even look this morning to see if he posted anything. I doubt he did. But everybody just, keep Alan in your prayers, Noah in your prayers while they're up there witnessing, in Colorado. Let's hope they have a great spiritual journey. Other than that, love you all. Pray for each other. Love each other. Love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul. And you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Don't fall for the material world. That's what they want. Get in their game. Get in their program. So all is well. All is good. Y'all take care. Love y'all.